Morning, brothers and sisters. I hope everybody's safe and well. It's Sunday. I can't be arsed going out. I wanted to be a bit more productive with my Sunday this week, but I just can't be fucking arsed, to be honest. And so I thought I'd come in and start doing some work on my step 4. And there's a lot of opinions that come along with step 4. A lot of opinions and a lot of experience as well when it comes to fellowship, a 12-step recovery program. And it's a feeling step, innit? It's a feelings and emotions step, and surprising how when we come to this stuff and it comes to facing them feelings and emotions, this separates the men from the boys. This really does separate the men from the boys, because not a lot of people have got the ability to face emotions and feelings. Not only face emotions and feelings, but actually talk about them to somebody else. And I am no longer afraid of hiding no emotions or feelings. And I wanted to come online and sort of explain that to somebody. I want to go into some really deep stuff here and talk about some of the emotions and feelings that I go through on a daily basis. You see, me personally, I chronically sort of sometimes suffer from a really low self-esteem, really low sense of self-esteem. And that fear in itself will highlight all my insecurities, and it will make me feel very worthless at times. It can get hold of me if I don't do certain things, because I don't pick up substances and do things and try and dress up this outside to cover up the fucking mess on the inside anymore. Do you know what I mean? And and I don't rely on other people's opinion of me in order to make me feel or think a certain way about myself. My self-perception, or the ideal, or the image, the image of self that I have in my mind is not dependent on a comment or what I think other people think of me. And I'm gonna go into some things. I'm not gonna lie. Lately, how do I say this? I really find it difficult to be proud of myself. I don't know what that is. I don't know where that comes from. Because I've got a lot of evidence that tells me different. Do you know what I mean? I've got a lot of evidence that tells me that I should be very proud of myself. And I wanted to come online and share that with other men of my age. I'm 33 years old. I've got certain things and certain material assets which will, through the eyes of perception of reality and what the constructs of my community or the people of my age group or people around me and whatever would perceive as a lot to be proud for, a lot to be proud of. But none of that makes me proud. None of that makes me feel that sense of pride within myself. And I don't mean that false sense of egotistical pride of, as I said, somebody else's perception of me. I'm okay with me if you're okay with me. No, that's not what I'm aiming for here. And do you know what? That's a big thing that people just don't talk about. People don't talk about. I'm okay with me if you're okay with me. I'm just going to let that sink in for a minute, because it took me a long while to sort of work that out myself. Do you know what I mean? And it's an ongoing issue. It's an ongoing issue. This is progress, not perfection. I spent a lot of my time living in a really low sense of self-esteem, low on confidence and stuff like that. And if I couldn't find that acceptance or that acknowledgement from other people, that that attention in a positive manner, my internals would sort of always drop to bits. Now, my whole life, I always tried to add up how I always tried to make my insides look like your outsides. I'm just going to let that sink in for a minute, because that's really, really how I've sort of lived my life for a long time. You know, and I constantly tried to make my insides or make my feelings sort of reflect the way that everybody else looked. And if everybody's doing that, then nobody's really looking at that internal stuff. And as I said, you know, I can find it really difficult, me, to be proud of myself in who I am today. And I wanted to come on and carry that message, you know, especially this time of year when it's when you're a man, you know, you've got children maybe, or you've got responsibilities, and sort of like just that trying to hold together everything that we are expected to be as a man, and not having that ability to express emotions and talk about how we feel, because that was a massive burden for me, because then it just means that I always had to carry emotions which I was never taught on how to release, and that was always blocking me off from my new life. It was always the stones that was tripping me up, you know, just the be all and end all of it all. That's what my life was about, constantly fucking falling over my own guilt and shame and the feelings and emotions that I used to carry with me, and based up on the expectations of society, or who and what I should be and how I should look and how I should feel, based on my community or my group of friends, or the you know, just that sort of area in which I grew up in. I never got taught in school how to express emotions. I never got taught how to talk about how I feel. I never even knew or learnt about any sort of emotions that was emotions. I didn't know what they was. You know, I just knew that this was good and this was bad. This needed sorting and that just fucking needed to be forgotten about. I didn't know how to go through that process. And I'm going through a step 4 at the minute, and he's sort of like, you have to write down the people, places and things which caused you to feel angry or caused you to feel some sort of feeling. Now, bearing in mind that I am still learning on how to and what feelings are, and, you know, I can think that this is a feeling, but it's actually not that. It's created through a fear, which is then making me feel a certain way. You know, this can all stem back to sort of like traumas and stuff like that, and rejection and, you know, all childhood stuff. And it really goes quite deep. But this is what we call a fierce and searching moral inventory. I'm the one that's doing the searching. I'm the one that's looking inside myself for my own answers, you know, and I found somebody, and I feel really grateful that I have found somebody to help and guide me through that process and help me to just enjoy my life, and the experience of living here as a human just a little bit more enjoyable, because from what I've learned and what the things that and the constructs of how my brain work today, are always leaving me in a sense of fucking lack, or not good enough, or I should be this and I should be that. And I have all these magical ideas of how my life should look and feel. And it's all just fucking nonsense, really. You know, the more I look at it, it's like I am not having to learn. I'm actually just unfucking learning everything that was taught to me growing up, you know, and nobody comes online and talks about this stuff enough, you know what I mean? Because this is emotional stuff, you know, men just don't seem to, it's not sort of okay to talk about these things when it comes, you know, that feeling like, you know, I'm not going to go down to the fucking nearest boozer and start talking to my mates and go, yeah, mate, I feel like I've got a really low sense of self-esteem today. I don't really feel very good within myself, and is it all right if we just go for a coffee and I can have a cry? It's like, it doesn't fucking happen, you know. But coming into a fellowship, a 12-step fellowship, it's not all about just the drug using, you know. It's about building fucking real friendships and relationships with people that I can pick the phone up to and I can fucking cry, man. I can cry over the phone to somebody. I can allow myself to cry when I'm on my own. You know, instead of going, stop being a soft ass. And, you know, just the other day, I'm not going to be afraid to tell you that, you know, something sort of happened to me, and I fell upon this realization, and I cried. I cried for the first time in I'd say about 8 months. I've cried a lot since I've come into recovery. I've cried a lot since I've started to face my feelings and emotions. And I don't just mean shedding a little bit of a tear. I'm on about like flat out fucking bawling, like, you know, for no reason whatsoever. And I've always felt like a part of me has just completely dropped off by the time I've finished. And I think that's what this is all about, for me, to be on a personal level, that I'm just sort of like parts of my life which no longer serve me are just falling off. And I'm not scared to say it, and I don't feel any fear when it comes to saying or coming online on a social platform and saying, as a 33-year-old man coming into recovery, I've cried, and I mean real fucking, you know, tears. Healing, spiritual healing, you know, this is a deep thing for me. Going through a step 4, I can quite easily say, like, you've got to list all the things and people and places that cause you anger or upset, or just stop you from feeling a certain, you know, just happy and content with yourself. Anything that spikes a feeling up for me, it sort of can be classed as a resentment. You know, if it's going to change the way I feel, and I'm going to start, like, something got fingered to me early days. A resentment is basically anything to do with resentment. Is basically, if I'm fucking walking through Morrison's or, like, you know, Sainsbury's or something, or just walking down the road, and I see somebody, i.e. from like school, or, you know, it could even be like a family member or a cousin, or just anybody that I've knew, and I see them and I go, shit. And I don't feel anything other than, oh, hiya, mate, it's nice to see you. That can be classed as resentment. It all stems from some sort of fear or something that's going on for you that you've held on to for a long time, which doesn't serve you anymore. You know, and I'm looking for the pattern, so I'm going to write down all the people, places and things going through my step 4 which make me feel anything other than just peaceful and tranquil within myself, basically. And it all starts with that fucking list, you know, just getting that list out. So I'm sat here today on a Sunday and I'm writing that list of people, you know, and it comes in from myself. You know, the top of that fucking list is me. You know, what you know, I want to look at myself first, and then it goes family members, then it goes to friends, then it goes to people, places and things, and it goes outwards, you know, and I'm not going to stop until, because this is a fearless and searching moral inventory. It's like, there's no time limit to this. There's no thing. I am doing the searching, and basically it's said that this is a step is to find the courage and belief within yourself to face and remove that which blocks me off from my new life, or God, or my higher power, or whatever you want to call it. And this isn't the first time that I've done it. This is actually my second time that I've done it. I got a lot of benefits from the first time that I've done it. And the second time I've done it, I'm going to be a little bit more searching and fearless, I think. Going through these processes and feeling these emotions, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. You know, I just wanted to let people know that this is where I'm at, and that it's okay to be that person. I'm not scared of coming online and telling everybody on social media that I cry and I feel sad sometimes, and I don't really have a lot of self-esteem sometimes, and, you know, I'm subject to falling into patterns where I find it really difficult to be proud of myself, of who I am and what I am, and you know, I fail to give myself a fucking massive pat on the back for being absolute fucking the dog's bollocks when it comes to being a dad. Do you know what I mean? Because I am, and I believe that I am. But treating myself like that, you know, on a subconscious level, you know, just having that, you know, all the time, that confidence and belief within myself is sort of a consistent sort of resistance or a defect that runs in my life all the time, you know, and certain insecurities can be highlighted based upon somebody else's opinion of me. And I'm not scared to say that, you know what I mean? I'm here to heal. I'm here for progression. You know, I'm here to progress in this journey of recovery, share my experience with somebody else that might be going through a really difficult time and finding it difficult to express feelings and emotions and stuff like that. Because, you know, when we share this stuff with other people and we get open and we get honest and we share our feelings and emotions with somebody that we can trust, you know, the healing process starts to begin. And you know, moving forward a day at a time. I feel really fucking grateful today, you know. And I woke up this morning and I've got so many friends. And like, these are friends that, yeah, they're just friends, man. You know, like proper, like, friends. Do you know what I mean? And I never had that. I never had that in any of my years of addiction. Never. And I can talk to these people about my deepest buried emotions and how I feel about myself, and that is just fucking magic. You know, I can really get honest with somebody and fucking have a cry on phone and go, you know what, I feel like this today, mate. I feel like that today, and just to sit and cry on the phone to somebody else is just fucking absolute miracle. And to have no judgment, and for that person to encourage me, tell me and remind me of all my assets and pick me up, brush me off, remind me of what I should be grateful for, and tell me they love me. He's like, he's just magical, man. I can't put that into words. You know what I mean? I feel really grateful today to have just like bare friends, just like loads of friends that just got loads of clean time, loads of friends that don't use drugs, loads of friends that don't live that fast life, loads of friends that have that ability to be honest and encouraging and comforting and understanding, and they can be empathetic and real fucking people that will fucking just listen to me chat shit on phone for half an hour and have a right good fucking cry, you know, because I never thought that I'd ever had friends like that. Just the blessings, just the absolute multitude of blessings when it comes to being in recovery, being vigorous, being fucking consistent, sticking around this stuff long enough, building relationships with people that will encourage me to just continue doing what I'm doing. I hope somebody's got something from this video. I'm going to be posting those stuff on a YouTube page, which is called Speak and Recover. I'll leave the information in the comments below, and I'd really love for you to just go over there and show your support and subscribe. I just wanted to let people know that this time of year, you're not on your own. There's a load of events that are going on for people that don't want to be using, don't want to be going out living that fast life, you know. Recovery's not just a fucking big boring game that everybody fucking thing, you know. Your life doesn't have to be shit and miserable just because you've stopped using drugs. There's dances, there's fucking discos, there's fucking holidays, there's fucking events, and there's just all sorts of unity days, and there's just endless amounts of things to be doing over Christmas and New Year. So if you want to get in amongst around some people that are willing to support you on your new journey of life, and don't hesitate to contact me. If you want to talk about your feelings and emotions, you just want to fucking and somebody to be an ear to listen, don't hesitate to contact me and get in touch. You know, the page is always open on Speak and Recover. You know, I'd never fail to return the message to anybody that contacts me. And for all those people that have contacted me and then sort of like just withered off into the background and sort of like disappeared, I hope you're all okay. I hope everybody's okay. I hope everybody's safe and well. I'm still here, still carrying a message, still being of service to those who need it. And I hope everybody is feeling very peaceful in themselves, and just know that, you know, you're doing fucking great. You're doing great. Stay blessed, guys. Happy Sunday. Blessings always.